All right, ready to dive into something pretty terrifying and maybe even a bit funny. We're talking about the backrooms, that internet legend, where reality kind of glitches and you end up in this endless maze of yellow rooms.
Oh, yeah. It's amazing how a single image on 4chan turned into this whole creepypasta. And it's captured so many people's imaginations. It's not just the unsettling images and videos, but the whole lore of it.
Like someone took the most boring office space, stretched it out forever, and then just added a whole bunch of existential dread.
Exactly. And the idea that it was all started by some corporation trying to solve overpopulation, it's almost too absurd, you know?
So let's talk about this Ace Incorporation. They're the ones, right? The supposed masterminds behind the backrooms. They accidentally opened a portal back in '89.
1989. And get this, there was an earthquake in Florida around the same time. Coincidence? I don't think so.
So they wanted to fix overpopulation and ended up creating this terrifying alternate dimension. Sounds like your typical Monday at a corporation.
Right. Escape overpopulation and end up in a place where some creature with a creepy grin is going to eat you.
And how do we even get into this parallel dimension? I've heard it called noclipping.
It's like reality's got these loose threads, and if you bump into them at the wrong time, boom, you're in the back rooms.
So if I trip or just zone out for a second, I could end up in an endless maze of yellow rooms. That's both scary and kind of convenient. Like if I need to get out of a boring meeting, just find a reality glitch.
Well, I wouldn't recommend it. The back rooms, it preys on people when they're vulnerable. Near-death experiences, exhaustion, mental shock, like sitting through a 3-hour budget presentation, maybe?
Okay, yeah, no clipping out of a meeting might not be the best idea. So once you're in this nightmare place, what's it like?
Imagine a twisted version of Dante's Inferno. But instead of circles of hell, it's got levels. Each one's got its own dangers.
We're at level 0, endless yellow rooms, that damp carpet smell. Probably smells like a public pool changing room.
Then there's level 1. They call it the habitable zone. It's not great. But you might find some resources, maybe even some other survivors.
That's at least a little bit of hope, right? But then there's the void, where time and space just stop. The ultimate escape from reality, but probably not in a good way.
It's like the ultimate unsubscribe button from existence.
It's funny how this whole backrooms thing, it plays on those anxieties we all have. That feeling of being trapped, lost in the system, surrounded by the mundane.
Yeah. It's like someone took the worst parts of office culture, endless hallways, flickering lights, that soul-crushing monotony, and they made it into an actual dimension.
And of course, every good horror story needs monsters. What kind of creatures are lurking around in these levels?
Oh, the creatures in the back rooms. You've got the smilers, these creepy things with these huge grin. They're drawn to light, any light. Like moths to a flame, but 1,000 times worse.
I've seen the fan art. Those smiles are more like, I'm about to ruin your life than, nice to see you. What else?
Then there are the hounds. They run in packs, they're super aggressive, and their bite, well, it turns you into another hound. Talk about a rough Monday.
So it's like the worst pyramid scheme ever, but instead of selling essential oils, you're spreading existential dread and a craving for human flesh.
Exactly. And there's this other one, a fungus creature, absorbs nutrients from its victims, like a corporate raider, draining the life out of everything.
It's crazy how these creatures, in a weird way, they reflect our fears, don't they? Like the smilers, they represent that danger of wanting attention in this world that's obsessed with how you look. Or the hounds, they're like, losing your individuality.
It's like the backrooms is this messed up mirror showing us the dark side of all our worries.
Well, if we're going down this rabbit hole of existential dread, we might as well be prepared, right?
Yeah.
What survival tips have we found?
So you want, like, a handbook.
Yeah.
On surviving a corporate hellscape, that's another dimension.
Well, yeah, a survival guide would be awesome. But I'll take any tips, anything that'll help if I no-clip during my next Zoom meeting.
Okay, well, some sources mention items and strategies that could help you survive. There's this thing called Royal Ration Jelly. It's supposed to be really nutritious and actually pretty tasty. Kind of weird, considering it's in a giant abandoned office building.
Wait, tasty? Like gourmet peanut butter and jelly? Made with the tears of lost interns and like the dust of forgotten dreams?
Yeah, something like that. But finding it, it's all about luck. Or maybe a reward for putting up with the soul-crushing monotony of the backrooms.
So the corporate version of a holiday bonus. But instead of a gift card, you get some weird jelly that might keep you alive in another dimension.
Exactly. And then there are these mirrors. They show you glimpses of the real world, what you left behind.
Ouch, that's harsh. You're trapped in this terrifying maze, and then you see everything you're missing.
It's like targeted advertising, backroom style. It knows what you want, and it just dangles it in front of you.
The more we talk about the backrooms, the more I think it's just this giant metaphor for modern life. Feeling lost, trapped, chasing pointless goals, always this threat of being eaten by something bigger than you.
Totally. It's all our anxieties all rolled into one. And it's this constantly changing world made by all these people online. It makes you feel like we're all in this together.
Speaking of making this world, one thing that gets me is how people took this simple idea and made it into this huge, terrifying universe. Levels upon levels, each one scarier than the last.
Like chapters in a never-ending horror story.
So we've got level 0, the yellow rooms, level 1, the habitable zone. What other levels did we find?
Well, there's level 2. It's like this huge network of pipes, metal clanging, things dripping, the guts of some broken machine.
A plumber's worst nightmare. Or maybe a steampunk dream come true.
And then there's level 3, the power station, everything humming with electricity, lights flickering, machinery doing something, you don't know what.
Like the heart of some huge system, keeping the back rooms running. But for what?
Exactly. It's like this giant puzzle box, and we're just starting to figure it out.
I'm getting serious Stranger Things vibes here. What's next on our tour?
How about level 4, the abandoned offices? It's the most boring office you can imagine, but like 1,000 times bigger, and then left to rot. Dusty desks, phones ringing, and stapler monsters.
Stapler monsters, come on, really. Like a giant stapler roaming around, stapling people to the wall.
Oh, and the paper clips. They're dangerous, too, especially when some creature with 1,000 arms is throwing them at you.
It's funny how the Backrooms takes ordinary stuff and makes it scary, right? Like even your boring job could be worse.
Right. At least you don't have a stapler monster chasing you.
Okay, I'll try to be more grateful for my comfy chair and free coffee. What other lovely levels are there?
Well, there's level 5, the hotel. Sounds like a break, right? It's not. Endless hallways, flickering lights, weird guests that disappear, and you always feel like you're being watched.
A haunted hotel, but instead of ghosts, it's existential dread. And probably smells like despair.
And the room service. They say they have the royal ration jelly, but it comes with a side of paranoia and the feeling that you're being fattened up for something.
Okay, avoid Backrooms room service is going on my list.
What else? There's level 6, lights out, always dark. Even a tiny light attracts something bad, so you're lost in the dark, knowing something's out there, waiting for you to make a mistake.
Like the Backrooms is saying, oh, you thought the yellow rooms were bad, try this.
Then there's level 7, the ocean of fear, filled with this thick, gross stuff, not water, and the creatures in it. Way scarier than the Smilers.
It's amazing how people made this whole world from one simple idea, a giant nightmare, and it just keeps getting bigger with every story and video and picture.
It shows you how powerful our imaginations are and maybe how scared we are of the world.
But what about the people who get trapped there? What happens to them? Do any of them survive?
That's where it gets really interesting. We found some stuff like glimpses into what it's like to be stuck in the back rooms, people trying to survive, trying not to lose their minds in this place that seems designed to break you.
One source talked about this exploration team from Ace Inc., the company that supposedly made the Backrooms in the first place.
Oh, yeah, they sent a team in to, investigate and document everything, which seems a little crazy, right? Like putting out a fire with gasoline.
Yeah, you break it, you buy it, except it is a whole other dimension with scary creatures and, existential dread.
They talked about the mental toll it takes being trapped there. The fear, the confusion, that feeling of never getting out. It's enough to make you want to just give up.
And imagine the guilt, knowing you're the reason this nightmare exists.
They wrote about running into all the creatures we've talked about. Smilers, hounds, even the fungus thing. They documented the levels, the weird stuff they saw, and how they were running out of supplies.
A survival guide written in, like blood, sweat, and office supplies.
Exactly. It shows how tough people can be, but it's also a warning about messing with things you don't understand.
But it's not just corporate explorers who get stuck, right? What about regular people who accidentally no-clip? Can they survive?
Ah, the accidental tourists. Their stories are usually just pieces. Video footage, weird forum posts, rumors.
It makes it even creepier, like is it real or not? Makes you look at those flickering lights in your office a little differently.
One thing that comes up a lot is how important it is to adapt. The people who survive, they're resourceful, they think fast, and they're willing to let go of, what they thought was real.
So you're saying if you end up in the back rooms, the first thing to do is accept how crazy it all is. Just go with the chaos.
Kinda, yeah. The Backrooms is always changing. The landscape, the dangers. If you can't let go of your old way of thinking, you're probably in trouble.
It's like a test. Can you adapt, think outside the box, handle the unknown? It's almost like a metaphor for life, isn't it?
Yeah. Maybe it is. I mean, aren't we all just trying to figure things out, make sense of the world, avoid the bad stuff?
Well, in that case, I'm bringing extra snacks and my sense of humor next time I head into the unknown. Speaking of snacks, what about that royal ration jelly? Anything else we can learn about it?
It keeps popping up in the stories. Maybe it's a symbol of hope. Like, even in this awful place, there's still something good, something to keep you going.
But finding it is tough. Right, like you said, it's luck, or maybe a reward for just surviving the boredom of it all.
And those mirrors showing you what you're missing, enough to make you crazy. Makes you wonder, is what I'm seeing even real, or is it just another trick?
Like the Backrooms is messing with your head, reminding you of what you lost, what you can't have. A real test of your willpower.
It's a place of contradictions, Scary and amazing, hopeless and resilient, ordinary and totally bizarre. It shows us what we're most afraid of, but also how creative we can be, how adaptable, how we find meaning even when everything seems absurd.
So what does it all mean? Why are we so fascinated by this place?
Maybe because it's like a safe way to be scared. We can explore those anxieties about the unknown, confront our fears.
It's like a shared nightmare. A way to deal with our real-world anxieties, feeling lost, trapped, forgotten. It's all there in the Backrooms, but in a way that's scary, but also kind of freeing.
And maybe, by facing our fears in this made-up world, we can learn to handle the real one better. Find the strengths to keep going, find the good things, even when it's dark.
Well, on that note, I think it's time to leave the Backrooms, for now. But I'm sure we'll be back. It's a place that just keeps growing, changing, waiting for us to explore it more.
And who knows what else is out there, just waiting behind the next flickering light.
So until next time, stay aware, stay sharp, and maybe, just maybe, avoid those unmarked yellow doors. You never know where they might lead.